You're listening to the Science of Learning podcast, brought to you by DBE-E3.
Welcome to our Science of Learning podcast, brought to you by the DBE-E3. This is episode 2 in a series of discussion with thinkers, thought leaders, and people who are focused on the science of learning. Today, we try and understand the value of strategic partnership, how to develop them, how they work, what are the common objectives, and why collaboration is the secret sauce in the changing environments and lives. We continue with the theme of our previous episode of intentionally fostering relationship, connections, and trust within the South African education sector. The workstream lead of DBE-E3 is Julie Williamson. Welcome, Julie.
Morning, Maketsi. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. A first question to you. We talked a little with Dr. Whitaker about the intent, and I must assume that relationships with a purpose are important. Your thoughts on the value of strategic partnerships?
The building of a rich ecosystem of like-minded partners lies at the heart of what E3 does. This is both informed by global best practice, but also by our own theory of change, which foregrounds the importance of collaborating with partners to activate our vision of equipping learners with competencies for a changing world. We envision engaging with a variety of partners like civil society, and in particular NPOs in the education sector, business, higher education, and parents. And when we engage with them, we envision leveraging off the work they do, because there's so much good work going on at the moment in South Africa. So yes, strategic partners are really key to us achieving our goals. And we select a number of strategic partnerships to help us do more.
So partnerships are based on a common interest of meeting of minds. Talk to me about some of the partnerships that the DBE-E3 has managed to develop.
So when we select our strategic partners, we kind of make sure that they align to our vision and that they share some of the expertise that we need. And if I can just talk about a number of really good partners that we've had. For example, we've sought out partners who have expertise, say, in competencies, assessment, teacher development, professional learning communities, entrepreneurial mindsets, all the things that lie at the heart of what E3 does. And there are a number of partners who do really great work in the sector in these areas. There are also a number of partners who have developed materials that are open educational resource. So we reached out to partners like that. We have no intention of reinventing the wheel. So it's to leverage off what is already in the sector. We've collaborated with business in a number of in one instance. We've even collaborated with partners on comms and advocacy. And in another instance, we have had a partner who's developed a really great resource, and we've tried to find ways of democratizing it, enabling it to reach as many people as possible. In particular, a very strategic partner of ours are the higher education institutions, because of all the expertise that lies there. So they've played a really important role in helping us sort of crystallize and develop our model and help us do research, develop programs, etc., etc. So the whole way E3 works is to identify these sort of strategic partners in the sector, and then work together with them on projects and leverage the work that they've already done and the expertise they have.
Thanks for that, Julie. So there's a perception out there that when a partnership comes to an end, it could have been for negative reasons, but some partnership, I assume, have a purpose and a timeline to it. Could you share more insights on partnerships that have a specific outcome and how that could impact a project?
Some partners I almost see as sort of a little project in a way, where one at the outset agrees on sort of the common objective that you're going to work on together. You agree on timelines, roles, and how you'll work together. And just as a project has a beginning and an end, So also some of these, relationships with partners have a beginning and an end. And what's interesting is partners come back maybe at a later stage, and one has an opportunity to collaborate maybe on something different, or even take that particular relationship further. And if I could just touch on, our Ed-Eco, which is a program where we was sort of a platform in a way where we've created a space for partners to get together and say we've created a space where partners move in and out in a very sort of fluid and collaborative way. The borders are porous, and what has happened there, we've had some really good partnerships developing out of those relationships, and I say some of them of shorter or longer duration. They're not always with E-Cubed. So in a way, partners are collaborating more in the whole sector, and we've created a space for partners to sort of meet in this eco space.
So Julie, there might be some of the stakeholders out there that are listening to this podcast who are interested in partnering with E-Cubed. What kind of partnerships is the DBE-E3 looking for?
We're really looking for partners that share our vision, and to share at this point our compelling goal. Our compelling goal is to reduce unemployment by 90% by 2035. Any partners that feel they could make a concerted contribution to reducing that youth unemployment, we'd be interested in talking to. And then in particular, the things that we focus on in E-Cubed, which is the skills and competencies for a changing world, the entrepreneurial mindsets, like self-efficacy and agency, anything that aligns with our compelling goal and our aim at E-Cubed, we would really like to have conversations and help us all achieve that sort of no child left behind after 13 years of school. Anyone that can help us with that goal. Just to say at this point also, in the NDP, there's also mention of how public partnerships will be activated to bring about this equipping of learners for the changing world. So it's also foregrounded in sort of the overall vision of the country, not just E-Cubed.
Final question, Julie. The final question is to understand your approach and whether you see DBE-E3's role as a coordinator or a partner. So in collaboration, each operates independently and has a complete control over the individual resources they bring to the table. In a partnership, however, there is more of a co-mingling of resources, and a separate structure is developed to oversee or manage these resources. Your thoughts on this?
E-Cubed at the moment through our Ed-Eco initiative is playing a coordinating role of that sort of space, but we do not want to play the overall coordinating role necessarily. We're only here to support DBE, and any way that we can support DBE, we will step into that space. But I think more than anything, I'd just like to highlight at this moment is that, the whole is always bigger than its parts. So we really do recognize that with all of us making different contributions to this pot, it'll be far greater than if it's just the DBE or just E-Cubed or just one or two partners. So it's to work towards this where the whole is much bigger than its parts, and to mobilize and engage as many partners as possible to support us on this journey, to mobilize and engage all these key partners in the sector to support this compelling goal of reducing youth unemployment by 2035 by 90%.
Thank you very much, everyone, and join us again on our third podcast.
You're listening to the Science of Learning podcast, brought to you by DBE-E3. For more information on DBE-E3, log on to www.ecubed-dbe.org or reach us on our Teacher Connect WhatsApp bot 060 060 3333.